Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Office Hours, a time and space for a Switcher team and community to discuss all the joys and challenges of live streaming. For those unacquainted, my name is Jordan, and I've been working alongside Switcher's customers since 2021 in some capacity. Today, I'm joined not only by my best friend, but by your best friend too, Jamie Davis.
Wow. That first of all, you nailed that intro, and it's an honor to be on the other side of it. Yeah, I've been working with Switcher for I don't know since 2022 in some way, but this would definitely be my first time streaming on the Switcher account. So it's exciting to be here. And for those that don't already know, the whole point of this kind of revamped office hours, if you will, is to just hang out, answer some questions, and provide some useful information.
Yeah, for sure. The information that you provide is impressive. The entire support team of Jamie, Candace, Angela, and Tim, and myself, like we just want to make sure that we have an understanding, a full understanding of your specific setup, your use case. So that's why our emails are long-winded, because we want to get the details from you and make sure that we're sharing the appropriate information so that you can have a successful broadcast. Speaking of, last episode, Dan and Asia went over some like streaming best practices. Uh, Highly recommend you go back and watch that video because the information they provide is absolute gold. I absolutely would have forgotten my water today had Dan not reminded me and reminded everyone. Stay hydrated. Can feel it now. I'm gonna need a drink. So, this episode we're just gonna build off of what they were discussing. They were talking about streaming best practices, or getting ready for your first live stream. We're gonna highlight some of the more common issues that we see in support land. Things that maybe just as you're learning a software, maybe just kind of learning curves and whatnot. So want to make sure that we get some hopefully valuable information to you today and just kind of build from there.
Absolutely. So yeah, let's just get into it with some useful information off the top. One of the things I wanted to break down was the Switcher version format when it comes to software updates. And we can kind of break this down and then talk about best practices. So yeah, I mean, it's structured as a number dot number dot number application version. So essentially, your first number is going to be your major updates, big feature releases. Scene Builder is a great example of that. The event creation overhaul that happened not too long ago is another good example of that. Your next number for a more minor update is typically going to have a feature release of some sort. But that's going to go from 13.1 to like 13.2. So yeah, not as big of a deal, but still significant. And then your third number is going to be your bug fixes, which is typically just a few lines of code that is being changed to fix any hangups with the version that you're already on. So with that said, folks have probably different philosophies on best practices when it comes to updating. What I will throw out there, what I'm taking away from this information, is that if you are a professional streamer, serious streamer, you're streaming multiple times a week, maybe, I would personally leave automatic updates off and just stay on top of checking the App Store for the next release, see which one of these it is. Is it major, minor, bug fixes? If things are going well for you as is, you have a stream coming up and it's a major release, maybe sit on that for a little bit. See how it's working out for other users, see if any bugs arise. You don't want to go into your event with surprises. And then if it's a minor thing, maybe check the App Store, see what that feature is specifically. use your best judgment, based on when your next stream is, what the feature is if you really need it right now, etc. And then with the bug fix updates, I would just do those straight away, because that's just going to improve the version that you're already rocking. So that's my takeaway. If you're a much more casual streamer, you don't want to have to stay on top of it, don't want to have to think about it. Maybe you could leave automatic updates on, but you would just have to, I guess, sort of roll with the punches if anything comes up. Yeah, for anyone, that was a lot of information. For anyone just joining, we're going through some common support requests, or themes rather, and this specifically is a software version format breakdown. Yeah, and the other thing I'll say about that, while we're on this topic, is when it comes to iOS updates and the device you're using as the main switcher device, if you can't update that device to 17.0 or newer, you're probably going to have trouble running the app. It could be CPU, it could be crashing, it could be network latency. It's going to be probably a little unpredictable. The bright side to that is this said device could still be used as a remote camera, because the shelf life of a device being used as a remote camera is much longer than it is for running the app, for obvious reasons. You could maybe stretch it out if you do have an older device that can't quite update to 17.0 iOS yet, by clearing out some storage, making sure nothing else is running, using do not disturb, things of the sort. Yeah, what do you think?
I think that's super helpful information, especially as our numbering conventions have gotten more consistent. It's good to have like a philosophy in mind, and yeah, it's your mileage may vary, but I like the way that you kind of displayed that out there. So appreciate that. You did mention storage, and I'll take the opportunity to share that before jumping on these, iOS devices, multiple, I did not know that they had recently deleted folders everywhere. And I don't really mean everywhere, but they do have them in two different places that always throws myself and other folks for a loop, where you're trying to clear space for this next stream. Video files are huge. We know this. So you start deleting photos from camera roll, from files app, and you're like, why isn't iOS recognizing this newly created space? It's because of the recently deleted folders holding, not hostage necessarily, but they are archiving them for you to make sure that you truly wanted to delete them. So in the iOS camera app, your Photos app, rather, you will want to tend to the recently deleted folder. Those files are going to be in there for 30 days. They're going to continue to take up space. Similarly, in the Files folder, the blue Files folder app, they also have a recently deleted folder. So definitely want to tend to those. It's one of those like almost hidden things. If you're new to iOS, or if you're you just never really had to deal with storage issues before, definitely tend to those folders, and it'll make life a lot easier. You won't have an interrupted stream because you ran out of storage space. So just wanted to share that I didn't know for a long time that was the thing.
Appreciate your transparency there. I mean, it was same for me, honestly. And as far as storage goes, just let's make good habits out of getting rid of stuff you don't need out of the local recordings folder, and stuff you do want to continue to use, export it elsewhere. Just have that space constantly free, because you want to have the local recording toggle on in the outputs tab, because that is the fail-safe. I mean, there could be reasons to not use it, but that is the fail-safe. So you don't want to run into the issue while you're streaming of running out of storage. So yeah, I think we've made our point there. So for those of you just now joining, we are going through some common support themes. We just talked about software version updates, best practices with storage. I know one of the other things we want to get into is kind of when we first started streaming, like difficult concepts to grasp. What was scary? What made you nervous? What did you just have a hard time understanding?
Fine, I'll share mine. The whole Wi-Fi versus internet, local network versus the outgoing internet. Uh, sure, everyone's been at this stage before, but yeah, when I first started getting into this field, it really took me a while to understand that we're creating a local network for all of our devices, and we're just sending that out through the ISP, the internet service provider, whatever upload speed they have graciously given us.
Hey Jordan, one second here. 1 second here.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. Let's see. We may have lost your audio. We might need to double check on that real quick. Never mind. You're back on now. Okay.
I'm here.
We're good.
I'm here.
Thanks, Tim, for the heads up on that.
Thank you, Tim. Always on the lookout. So yeah, Wi-Fi versus internet. The easiest way that when I'm troubleshooting an issue for myself or for a customer, it's can you see the lag or glitching? If you're seeing that on the main switching device as the operator, if you're seeing your remote cameras come in and they just don't look great, that's going to be a Wi-Fi issue, a local network. That's not going to have anything to do with your internet connection or your upload speed. Alternatively, if you do not see any of those symptoms of lagging on the remote cameras, trouble getting the transmission from the iPhone over to the iPad, and you encounter like an error of sorts, then that could be related to the internet. So, you know, Dan and Asia shared best practices as far as checking your upload speed and all of that. That's going to be a huge. It's going to be greatly informative to help you determine which stream quality you're going to select. So, you know, if you're not getting any lagging on the remote cameras, I would look towards internet. And if you're getting lagging on the remote cameras, then let's go look at the Wi-Fi situation. Rebooting your router, power cycling your router on even a weekly basis, I don't think is outrageous. Just really helps the video and the devices kind of like send the data without any congestion from other devices connected over time. Clears the cache, smooth sailing from there.
Nice. Yeah, that is a good way to discern where the problem is. You know, speaking of ways to kind of like work through this in real time, maybe let's talk about some in-app features, such as the info panel is a big one. I also think it's incredibly underused. It's your little, yep, wow, fancy graphics. This is nice. So yes, it's a little harder to find on the iPhone interface, I should say. You got to tap the menu button, which is that button right next to the info panel you see on the screen. On the iPhone interface, that'll take you to About Devices, and then you can see your info panel. But yeah, this is going to show you Wi-Fi performance, essentially, CPU load, storage, network latency, and then now we have like a little speed test running in the background there. I think when you open it now, it'll already be running. So you have a speed test just kind of just so conveniently placed there for you, and then you can run it again from this section if you want. So that's super nifty. Of course, you can still do the speed test when you're creating your event as well. And then internet issues, you have the stream status indicator. I feel like most folks are familiar with it. It's pretty obvious. It works like a stoplight. Uh, Green, you're good. Yellow, you're slowing down. Red, you're in serious trouble, and you're going to see a broadcast error like the one on screen right now. The team is working to provide some new messaging that's a little bit more specific to help kind of guide you through the process of recovering your broadcasts. So that's really nifty. Would you possibly, Jordan, want to talk a little bit about record only, director mode? Yeah.
Yeah. So like if you are dealing with a low upload speed, um, you can always just record to the device and not have to broadcast anywhere, um, and then upload later. But then we also have director mode, which allows you to broadcast at the lower quality that the upload speed will support while capturing the individual angles and high quality individual files of the iPhones that are connected remotely. So that's a really cool. I don't want to say workaround, but it just has you. It helps you prepare for any scenario. You know that if you're going out to a remote area, and you know that maybe your hotspot isn't going to cut it that day, um, you know, flip director mode on, and you can do all that switching in real time, and it'll create a render for you that represents the changes that you made in real time. But then you can also take the individual angles and export them out to another, software for more like robust video editing, if that's more of your style. So highly encourage those. Jamie said that the info panel is underutilized. I think director mode's a little underutilized as well. I think presents a lot of options for you, not only in real time but after the fact as well.
For sure. Yeah, and the other thing about director mode is, I think that might scare people away sometimes, is that it takes away your built-in camera of the main device. So you're one camera down. Of course, you can add others in, and then you just need, talking about storage again, you need storage on those remote cameras so that you have all the remote angles saved individually. But yeah, for those just joining, office hours, we're hanging out. Jordan and I are providing as much information as possible to be useful to you during this time. We also do want to hear from you. We were just talking about software version updates, talking about in-app resources for any potential network issues. We talked about storage. So you are caught up now if you just joined us. With that said, how are we doing on time, by the way,
Well,
Jordan?
I wanted to, my first time streaming here and hosting that, neglecting the comments, and I do apologize for that. So,
yeah, we're just yapping over here.
We're just yapping, yeah. So let me, if there's anything that you're seeing in the YouTube or Facebook comments that you want to pass along, Dan is just taking up the feed. I can't.
Yeah, Dan's Johnny on the spot with the answers here. Yeah. I'll mention, I think a couple days ago when we posted about this event, San had a couple questions. One of which he's wanted to know how to run Switcher Studio on a soccer field, basically covering great distances. First of all, I just want to say this is something that it's a bit of a project. So you should definitely write into us at support@switcherstudio.com, and we can really dig into it. But essentially what it comes down to is just having really robust mobile networking equipment, probably a mesh system of some sort with multiple access points, maybe like a Google Nest or maybe some Ubiquity products or some of the popular ones. But yeah, that's a bit of an endeavor to have a setup covering great distances like that. So definitely write into us at support, and we can definitely dig in on that one a little bit further. But I did want to mention it.
I'm seeing one comment here. Will there be a way to save your local recordings directly to an external hard drive? I wish that were the case. To my knowledge, that hasn't been uh, not possible for us. I'm not sure if it's possible for other. Um, yeah, I don't think I've ever connected an external hard drive to an iOS device.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely move them over after the fact. But the idea of streamlining it and essentially like running your recordings folder like off of the separate device, um, that would be nifty. I'm not really sure how that would work or what it would take to accomplish that, or if it's possible.
Maybe one day they'll figure that out because that would be really cool.
Well, we can throw out another prompt here if we have some time.
Yeah. So you were talking about in-app resources just a moment ago.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
just want folks to be aware that we have a bevy of out of the app resources as well. We have the support team, support at switcherstudio.com. We have our help center, which is extremely robust. Always, have a look, search with keywords, but also, write into our team. We can sort of curate a batch of articles that are specific to your use case, and that way you're not having to, take these concepts and like sort of spin your wheels, like applying them to your use case. Like let us do some of that work for you. Um, we also have criminally underrated blog posts from our great writers on the team. And um, if our help center is like the how you do something, I think our blogs do a great job of showing like the why, and just like getting big picture ideas out there. Really, really underutilized, I think. Um, Also, just as a resource, our Facebook enthusiast group. Uh, just over the years, I've learned so much just from lurking and just trying to take in knowledge that our longtime power users have been. They're just so gracious with their information and knowledge that they're willing to share with newcomers, folks trying new setups, gear. We can't test everything, and to know that you know I can recommend a mixer or something, because I've seen it work with our customers for the last 4 years or something like that. That's really invaluable. New tech comes out every month, every day, and it's good to just have like some sort of track record, long-standing track record with some products. So really, just long-winded saying, like, really appreciate the knowledge share on the Facebook group, and like we learn from you all. So it's really, really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, big shout outs to the marketing team. Can you do the applause thing again?
Here we go.
Especially for specific use case stuff. Those blogs are amazing. And then shout out to Facebook users, Facebook enthusiasts. Can you do the applause thing again?
That's built in too. Everyone has that.
It's necessary. It's warranted. But yeah, I think I was telling you, Jordan, that I've learned just as much from the enthusiast group as I have from any other criteria I have available to me. Um, it's amazing for specific gear, specific use cases for sure.
Yeah. We'll just
So
maybe we'll leave it on that. Just like give them their flowers. They earned it. Unless you
yeah,
want to
we're
throw out something else, please.
well. I was just going to say that I know we're getting close to time. We're trying to keep these to 15 to 30 minutes tops. I will just circle back around to the question earlier because we're talking about our team being Johnny on the spot with support. Dan confirmed in the comments that to be able to, there's an iOS limitation uh, when it comes to trying to record in real time and saving to an external hard drive. That is why it can't happen. Since we brought that comment up earlier, I just want to touch back up on that. So yeah, you just have to transfer it over after the fact. Um, but yeah, I mean, unless you have something else, I feel like we've kind of gone over quite a bit of info here. All right,
Just want to.
real quick. Go ahead. Go ahead. You first.
Oh, I was just gonna show how quickly you can change between these scenes. It's pretty cool.
Scene builder is
Scene builder.
flexing on us right now. Speaking of, I was going to say real quick, just real quick, 2 to 3 minutes. What's your favorite, besides Scene Builder? We know that one. Favorite new feature over the past 12 months, maybe, or more, most improved?
Most improved. Well, most improved. The event creation flow. I'm really stoked on right now. Just that whole creating the event is smoother. Editing the details of the event. Scheduling recurring events. I mean, it's been overhauled to say the least. So from a work, I mean, yeah, like Scene Builder is amazing, and we're gonna get just the most insane productions out of this as people continue to like learn about it. Um, but yeah, from a workflow perspective, like that event creation overhaul, super cool. Um, I have others, but I want to hear yours now.
Agree to that. Event creation is awesome. I love how nice and neat it looks whenever your event's ready to go on the outputs tab. But yeah, I'd say I'll throw out the transitions in and out per asset. That's a big one. It's a sneaky one because you don't realize how much you're going to use it till you get in there, and it just gives you so much more control. Just gives it like a smoother and much more professional look. Um, yeah, everything just looks streamlined. So between Scene Builder and that, I mean, that's about as professional looking as it gets, if you ask me.
Yeah, there's
Well,
others. How about just being able to loop video? I don't know why that just that right there is just super cool to me. Helpful even looping the audio track like we had in the intro. I'll play it in the outro too because that's how cool it is. Um, yeah,
absolutely.
I mean
Good deal.
there's more we could talk about, but I don't want to get into a whole other
Yeah,
segment
we
here.
want to leave some things for office hours next month. Again, we're going to try to do this monthly starting out. Maybe we'll ramp it up from there depending on how it goes. But yeah, definitely be looking for the next team. We're trying to do different people every time too, so you don't get tired of us. You know where to find us. If you need to speak, we'll be in inbox support@switcherstudio.com. But yeah, this has been fun. This has been a new experience for me representing Switcher live. So we appreciate everyone that joined. Anything else?
I have nothing. I have this outro queued up though.
All right, cue up the outro. Yeah, thanks everybody. Catch you next month.
Thank you all.